Baltimore County Police are investigating what appears to be an execution-style murder in Parkville. 35-year-old Paul Monk of Parkville was shot a number of times last night as he left Clayton's Bar and Grill on Bel Air Road. At this time, police have no suspects and no motive in the murder.
And talk to everybody we can talk to.
You heard it. The battle plan has been drawn and crime fighters are moving out. A good evening to you. Baltimore City's Violent Crime Task Force has moved out into the streets, but instead of fighting crime one-on-one, it plans to tackle crime from behind closed doors. News Channel 2's Brad Ganson is standing by live in West Baltimore, where police are just starting to show up in the neighborhood. Brad, what is the plan?
Well, the plan is to canvass several neighborhoods, this being one of them. I'm at about a block from Pennsylvania and Baker Avenue here at Baker and Brunt Street at the moment. And what they're going to do is they're going to be talking to the people, as you heard Colonel Joe Ballesta say. They're going to be talking to them and see what's going on. This all evolved after several days ago. The superintendent had a press conference, said there'd be a new crime-fighting task force, but had few details. And then just a couple of days ago, he said he didn't really want to talk about the details because he didn't want to tip his hand. Well, the head of this operation, Colonel Joe Ballesta, has released a few of the details and told about some of the people who are going to be in this new crime-fighting task force.
We've tried to get a mixture of experienced investigators from homicide, narcotics, vice, uniformed patrol officers, and we're going to attack the problem initially that way. We hope that we can assure you it's not going to be business as usual, moving people from one corner to another. We're going to take quite a different tact.
Well, there was a shooting not too far from here, down off Lexington Terrace in one of the high-rises. One person was seriously hurt, taken a shock trauma. Don't know the condition at this point. Don't have a suspect in that case. That's just south of this particular area where this particular crime-fighting force is going to be. I'm told there's going to be at least 15 people. And the big question is, they're going to talk to these people and they're going to ask them anonymously, do they know where the guns and the drugs are? And we want to find out what the people are going to say. Ma'am, what do you think? Do you think that the people around here are going to tell the police, even anonymously, where they think the guns and the drugs are in the neighborhood?
No, I don't think that. Some of the older ones would tell it, but the young ones will never tell it because they seem to all stick together. But
there is some fear among the older folks that live here, is there not?
I think so, because it is with me, because they're around my door quite a bit. And early in the morning, last thing at night. And I have a sick husband. And
I understand what you're saying.
He's
okay.
Invalid.
All right.
You might as well say.
So that's just one lady's opinion here about Beverly, about whether they'll be talking to the police or not. Other opinions? Yes. Anonymously, they might say something.
Okay, well, they have to get the plan into action before we'll find out if anything is working. Thank you very much, Brad Ganson, reporting live. Well, just 2 days ago, after an estranged husband walked into his wife's workplace and shot her to death, Governor Schaefer went to Capitol Hill to testify about domestic violence. The bill, sponsored by Representative Connie Morella, will make it easier for battered women to get evidence of their abuse and will allow testimony from expert witnesses on battered spouse syndrome. The two Maryland leaders testified before a House Judiciary Committee this afternoon. Governor Schaefer has released 10 women from prison who were serving time for retaliating against their abusive spouses. A fourth teenager has been arrested in connection with a Perryville bank robbery. Now, state police tell us the 14-year-old boy from Havre de Grace allegedly supplied the handgun and sawed-off shotgun his 3 friends allegedly used in Monday's holdup. He faces 3 charges, including possession of firearms. The unidentified teenager has been released to the custody of his parents. The 3 teenage bank robbers range in age from 12 to 14. They are still being held at Cecil County's detention center. The ring of a bell may have saved a jewelry store merchant's life this afternoon. Police tell us a man who had just robbed the store was stabbing the merchant. He was also scared away by a customer who rang the bell to gain entry. Now, the suspect fled the scene on foot, but jumped into a blue car and sped away. The merchant was taken to the hospital where he was treated for stab wounds to his arm. Baltimore County Police are investigating what appears to be an execution-style murder in Parkville. 35-year-old Paul Monk of Parkville was shot a number of times last night as he left Clayton's Bar and Grill on Bel Air Road. At this time, police have no suspects and no motive in the murder. Members of the state's paramedic and EMT community say the infighting that has accompanied the shock trauma reorganization is starting to take a toll. As News Channel 2's Mark Vernarelli reports, while medical care is still considered excellent, morale may not be.
Today, the Maryland State Firemen's Association sounded the alarm, calling for an end to the organizational shuffling and bickering that officials say is now starting to affect the men and women in the field.
We would like there to be a cooling off period. We would like to stop the personnel dismissals. We would like to be included, as we were under previous administrations.
Specifically, officials would like to see certain discontinued rescue techniques and equipment reinstated. Some say Maryland's emergency medical system has become a little stagnant, not allowing its rescuers to perform life-saving techniques that other states welcome. At UMBC's 4-year paramedic training program, clinical director Maggie Valcourt says almost all her graduates are leaving Maryland.
We have 100% this year that just graduated in May that will be leaving the state, and 87% last year.
Some of the skills that I've learned during my training I can't always perform in the state of Maryland. County to county varies, region to region varies.
So far, the experts say medical care here is still top-notch, but they're concerned that the longer the shock trauma reorganization and bickering go on, the more politics, legal fights, and money will get in the way of every rescuer's basic goal: saving lives. Mark Vernarelli, News Channel 2.
Tomorrow, 3 shock trauma doctors fired last week will go to court, where a judge will decide whether their firings were legal. Up next on News Channel 2 at 6, we're going to take a positively Baltimore look at African culture and show you a kitchen that cooks up healthy foods for expectant moms.
Right now at Luskin's, every color TV, every big screen TV, every VCR is on sale, and you still get free airfare for 2 to Florida, the Bahamas, and Hawaii. This remote VCR, $149. This 19-inch remote color TV, $197. This 25-inch remote RCA, $324. And this 31-inch big screen, $697. And Luskin's has same-day delivery on big screens, plus no payment and no interest financing for 6 months. All this plus service where the Luskin family is always watching. Luskin's, the cheapest guy in town.
I guess all this takes a ton of this.
Nope, just a spoonful.
Come on, a spoonful of joy is gonna clean this mess? No way.
Way, wise guy. Just 1 spoonful. That's how I save money.
Compare a spoonful of joy and that other lemon brand. They quit leaving all these dirty dishes. But a spoonful of joy cleans the whole sink full.
A spoonful worked. Joy saves you money. Wanna share the wealth?
No way.
Just a spoonful of lemon joy cleans more to save you more.
Hi, I'm Payne Stewart, calling on area golfers to come out and beat the pro. Here's how.
See if you can beat Dick Hall's tee shot on the selected par 3. The golfer closest to the pin for the day wins a valuable gift certificate and a chance to compete in our championship tournament. Donations benefit the Johns Hopkins Children's Center.
Beat the pro this Saturday at Forest Park Golf Course.
Brought to you by Luskin's, Value City Furniture, and News Channel 2. Friends you can turn to.
We're getting ready, waiting for you. Welcome home, come on in. Yeah, we're here to say hello. Welcome home. Gonna have a great time.
Spend a day at the park August 20th when the Orioles take on the Seattle Mariners. All fans 14 and under receive a free Orioles squeeze bottle, compliments of Gatorade and Giant Food. So call Ticketmaster today and get your free Orioles squeeze bottle when we see you at the park.
It started as a summer youth program, but it's developed into much more. Today, Mayor Kurt Schmoke visited the Anne Arundel County community of Freetown to see for himself how the police summer youth program works. Now, police told him 154 families live in the project, but there are only 8 fathers living there. So for many of the youngsters, the police have become father figures. The mayor talked to them in the school.
Because we recognize that for all of our young people, if they're going to get great jobs in the future, they've got to have really good education, and I hope you all follow along in that.
Most people say cops are bad, but they're good. They help us out a lot. Like anytime we want to talk to them, we can talk to them. They give us rides to different places, like to the carnival and stuff.
Police say because of community cooperation, they have been able to evict 13 families from this project for drug violations. In tonight's Positively Baltimore report, a look at a summertime learning experience where students of nature find out about faraway lands and about themselves at the same time. News Channel 2's Jamie Costello reports from Lincoln Park.
Here at the Carrie Murray Center, Monica teaches a new tongue.
And the word for rice is var. Can everybody say var? Var.
Chuck No Runner paints an education picture. And Jennifer shows off one slimy creature. And the audience? They're all 6 to 13-year-olds. They're all attentive and inquisitive, in fact, thirsty for information. What you're learning here today?
Learn how to cook food and how the Africans and people lived.
This program is called Folk Art with Nature, where children learn about African American and Native American cultures.
Africans from Madagascar, they have different types of foods and different cultures, and that there are a lot of different species of animals and plants that have never been named, and some haven't even been discovered.
All that in just minutes. Children can do more than ask or answer questions. They can get hands-on learning like preparing vari.
I learned about the Native American and African arts and stuff.
Ahu, Ana, Tumpu.
It's a summer where nature and heritages come together as one benefiting the other. In a way, the future prospers. At the Carrie Murray Center, Jamie Costello, News Channel 2.
Learned something new today. This program runs through the month with help from the Heritage Museum of Art along with the Carrie Murray Outdoor Center. Well, there's something healthy cooking up in West Baltimore. Today, families from the Sandtown-Winchester area officially opened a new community kitchen. This kitchen in the Baltimore Project, a place that helps families and children. The goal is to teach parents about good nutrition by giving them a place to cook.
I have 3 children of my own and my niece, and I want them to eat, healthy, and I cook a lot of fried foods, trying to get out of that.
Hopefully the kitchen will help give youngsters like these a healthy start on life.
On the 14th floor of the Lexington Terrace Apartments. Carlene Shiver lives next door.
And I went in there to look at her and everything, and she wasn't breathing or nothing. And she didn't have any clothes on. Wasn't nothing on her bottom parts.
Police say the report came in about 8 o'clock this morning. A woman here at the Lexington Terrace high-rise calling to say that her daughter was ill. When authorities arrived, they found a broken window and the partially clothed body of the 7-year-old girl.
The mother told, it's my understanding, has told detectives that she didn't hear anything. There was a broken window on the outside of the apartment here. Glass was out in the sidewalk area here. And that's pretty much all we know.
Peggy Allen is the child's mother. She is being questioned tonight, but has not been labeled a suspect in the youngster's death.
She was only 7 years old. I just don't understand this.
What, if anything, can you tell us about your cousin?
I know she loves her kids. And I know she's going crazy right about now, like we all are, But, I don't know, I just feel sorry for her and the babies.
Police have labeled the case a suspicious death for now as they await the results of an autopsy. In West Baltimore, Terry Owens, News Channel 2.
There is a gruesome footnote to this story. Back on November 23rd of 1990, 2 17-year-old boys were murdered execution style in the very same apartment that Tanisha died in. Lexington Terrace Apartments was also home for another 7-year-old who has been missing since this past September. Timothy Washington is believed to have been abducted by his mother's ex-boyfriend, Keith Garrett. Garrett allegedly kidnapped the child with the intention of using him in a ploy to get his 4-year-old daughter from Timothy's mother. Garrett has since been charged with the kidnapping, but Timothy is still missing. Garrett is not related to little Timothy. Meanwhile, the search continues tonight for an 11-year-old Edmondson Village boy who's been missing since Wednesday. Michael Gaskew was last seen with a man named Michael Berry. Berry is now in police custody, but not charged with Michael's disappearance.
He have a whole lot of friends. He get along with all his friends. He's a good person. I know he ain't run away.
So you believe that someone definitely did take him?
Yeah.
If you think you have any information on little Michael Gaskew's whereabouts, please call the Baltimore City Police Department at 396-2100. That number again, 396-2100. It appears that the number of reported cases of child abuse and neglect are dwindling, but not by much. Today, the Maryland Department of Human Resources released its facts and figures for the year 1991. According to the data, there were 26,828 reported cases of child abuse and neglect in the state. Compared to this year, between January and October, there have been almost 24,000 cases reported. But DHR says that for every reported incident, there are 4 more that go unreported. According to the findings, in 1991, Baltimore City had 8,838 reported cases. Baltimore County had 2,180 cases. Anne Arundel County came in third with almost 2,000 reports. Harford County had 874. Howard County had 583, and Carroll County rounds out the list with 293 cases. That brings the total for the Baltimore area to 14,699. Now, if you would like to report a case of suspected child abuse or you need help in working out domestic problems involving children, you can call the Child Abuse Prevention Center. The phone number, area code 410-576-2414. 17-year-old Bernard Miller has been ordered to stand trial in Howard County for the carjacking murder of Pamela Basu. Miller is one of 2 men charged with the first-degree murder of the Howard County mother last September. A Howard County Circuit Court judge struck down the argument for a change of venue in this case based on the possibility of Miller receiving the death penalty. The judge ruled that since Miller is a juvenile, he cannot receive the death penalty. Trial has been set for February the 22nd. Well, armed with only their vocal cords and Christmas carols, a West Baltimore neighborhood is determined to take back its streets. News Channel 2's Randy Page is standing by live in West Baltimore with more on the story tonight. And Randy, I guess these carolers feel that the songs are going to do it?
Well, certainly hoping so, Stan. You know, after the lot of news, not so happy tonight, how about a little happy news for a change? We are in West Baltimore, Harlem Park, Franklin Square area, where residents here have come together for a message of hope. And they're bringing that message not only here on this street corner, but throughout the neighborhood. They're joining their voices in prayer as well as in song. And they're trying to make it clear that by lighting individual candles, that you put all those candles together and they will shine with a very bright light in a neighborhood which has been troubled by drugs and a lot of other very serious problems. Joining us live is Reverend Michael Curry, who had a very inspiring prayer just a little while ago. What message would you like to spread, not only on this street corner, Reverend, but throughout the city and throughout our area?
The message is very simple. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not, cannot, and will not overcome it. Our neighborhoods are our neighborhoods, and we can reclaim them for decency so that they are habitable places for human beings to live. Because most of the people in all of our communities are good, honest, decent people, and we want our children, these children who are here, to see and know that they can be something, that dope is not hope, but there is such a thing called hope. So our message is the light does shine in the darkness, and that darkness cannot, will not, has not, and never will overcome it.
And it is a Christmas message, is it not?
That is the central message of Christmas, taken right out of the Gospel according to St. John. That is the message of Christmas, that in spite of King Herod's attempt to kill the baby Jesus survived. And as I said earlier, Herod still lives in the form of dope, but Herod does not rule. Jesus does.
And your message rings loud and clear, Reverend. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Again, Stan, a message of hope and of peace in West Baltimore.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. In other news tonight, things are...
She had dreams. She wanted to serve her country in the Air Force, marry her boyfriend, and eventually have a child of her own. Instead, 16-year-old Shakisha Spriggs is Baltimore City's 320th murder victim. They cope by pulling together. That's how students at Edmondson Westside High School say they're dealing with the death of a popular classmate. As News Channel 2 reported on the weekend, 16-year-old Shakisha Spriggs was gunned down during an apparent robbery attempt. Tragically, this is not the first time students at Edmondson have had to confront death. News Channel 2's Terry Owens reports.
Students at Edmondson Westside High School had a moment of silence today, a moment to reflect on the life of 16-year-old Shakisha Spriggs. The 11th grader and ROTC member was killed this weekend during an apparent robbery.
It's like the third time this happened this year. Had 3 deaths in the school and really messed a lot of people up.
She was in my first period class, and I kind of felt lonely without her being there.
As we first reported on News Channel 2 weekend, Spriggs was shot and killed Saturday night along these railroad tracks near Reisterstown Plaza. Police say Spriggs and her boyfriend were walking to a nearby metro station from the shopping center when they were approached by 3 men.
Boyfriend, it's my understanding, was robbed of $100. The suspects then proceeded to shoot both of them. The boyfriend managed to stumble back up near Patterson, where he was able to flag down a patrol officer and alert them as to what had happened.
Shakisha's family remains in a state of shock tonight, knowing there are presents under the Christmas tree that will never be opened.
And I thank God that we did get this closeness and everything before she left, because I don't feel bad, you know, with her passing, because I got to say and do a lot of things with my daughter and tell her I loved her.
The family is offering a $1,000 reward for information surrounding Shakisha's death, and police admit they have little to go on. In Baltimore, Terry Owens, News Channel 2.
19-year-old Maurice Osborne survived Saturday night's attack. He remains hospitalized tonight in good condition. Spriggs was the 320th person killed in Baltimore this year. The man accused of killing 11-year-old Michael Gaskew has been denied bail. 30-year-old Warren Berry went before a judge today on the murder and drug charges. Gaskew's body was found in an abandoned shed on Friday night near his Edmondson Village home. He had been stabbed to death. Berry lived near the victim and we're told often played with Gaskew and other neighborhood kids. No trial has been set yet. Little Michael Gaskew is the 3rd Baltimore child to become a victim of violence in as many days. Every year, more and more children are being murdered in Maryland. News Channel 2's Kim Skeen is in our newsroom with the latest on this alarming trend that leaves us all stunned, Kim.
Beverly, the figures are frightening. A growing number of children are being murdered, and their deaths touch the lives of every child they knew.
It happens every 14 hours. Somewhere in America, a young child is murdered. This year in Baltimore, 33 children have been murdered. The child homicide rate in Maryland is up 20% from 4 years ago. 11-year-old Michael Gaskew was one of the latest victims. He was also this child's friend.
He ain't had no right to kill nobody else's child.
Do you worry about something like that happening to you?
Yes.
What goes through your mind?
I just think that I wouldn't want nothing like that to happen to me.
Anytime a trauma occurs in a child's life, that is a teachable moment.
Roland Savage heads the Crisis Intervention Program for Baltimore County Schools. He counsels children who have had classmates murdered.
And what we try to do is to give them a chance to talk, because quite often our society doesn't let children talk and doesn't listen to children and their worries and their fears and their concerns for their own safety.
Children we talked with live in fear that someday they may be murdered. It is a common concern for this generation.
It just scares me because I know that, I wonder to myself, am I going to be next, you know? The next person lying in the street or something.
What kind of world do you think you're growing up in?
A bad world.
Now, experts say when a child loses a friend or a loved one, the scars can...
Long simmering feud over Odell's nightclub is not apparently over.
That's right, Beverly, because just when it appeared a circuit court judge was poised to close the doors on that controversial nightclub, attorneys for the club today want a temporary reprieve. As we reported, the city zoning board yesterday rejected the club's request for a permit to operate after hours. But today, attorneys for Odell's convinced the court to delay any action.
When the zoning board made their decision, they seemed to leave the door open for some type of compromise, and we'd like to be able to try to take advantage of that.
If there were some way for the club to operate and handle these kids, I realize they need a place to go, but they would leave the neighborhood immediately, it might satisfy the residents in the neighborhood.
The two sides will be back in court next Wednesday, but in the meantime, Odell's will remain closed.